All right, let's get to the elephant in the room then. What's going on with Scarefest? Why is everyone up in arms about Scarefest this year
then? The mazes got announced today for a video that I made.
Yeah,
Jane Dogs exclusive. That was the shittest flex I've ever seen.
Mate, can I have your autograph?
Yes, please sign it. Sign my fake Grogu, please.
But yeah, let's watch it.
Just the way you said that. I'm just like, I made that.
Let's watch it.
I got goosebumps and Mikhail's camera has yeeted it, so
he's scared, man.
It's gone.
He's gone. He's out of
there. In the attic this year.
So yeah, right. So what happened? I was back, but yeah, what happened was it seems I'm just going off Twitter really. Is that people were like obviously didn't like the fact that there's no new mazes, and I think that's what Joe, that's your thoughts on it, really, isn't it?
So it's the exact same 4 mazes again, and to be honest, with the amount of time that Towers have actually left it to announce something, I was expecting something just that little bit bigger and just that a little bit more sort of, I don't know, just with a bit of oomph behind it. For them to basically come in now and say, oh, it's the same 4 mazes. I don't know. I feel kind of let down in a way, really, to be honest. I mean, the good mazes, don't get me wrong. I love Altonville Mine Tours. Probably my favourite out of the 4, to be honest with you. The Attic's also really, really good as well. But Freak Show just didn't quite cut it for me last year. I mean, it's a great concept, and obviously with the chainsaws and everything else, it just didn't have the right feel to it from my personal opinion. So yeah, not overly impressed. But hey, it's another Halloween event, isn't it? So yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear my opinion?
Yeah, go for it, man.
I'm absolutely buzzing because I didn't get to do any of it last year.
Hello.
So I'm excited. Hello. Welcome back. It's good. It's all good. Did you get... Sean just said you got really scared and ran away.
My camera just decided to fall asleep on me for some reason. I don't know why.
Yo. Anyway. Yeah, I'm proper excited because... I was scared that Darkest Depths might go after it being there for, is it 2-year-old now? Is it two
it's coming up to 2 years. No, coming up to 2 years.
So I'm happy for that because, like I said, I've not experienced that. And the attic last year looked insane. Toxic Junkyard as well is very new. So, yeah. Oh, I hope they bring back the Toxic Junkyard burger at Woodcutters as well because that thing was
looked good.
It was so good. You got to try all the food out of Woodcutters.
My opinion on it is that obviously this is just the maze announcements. We don't know anything else. But we don't know any of these are the maze announcements. And for me, out of all the parks, I'm not on about standalone scare attractions like the farms and things like that. They're always going to be their own beast, and they're going to, they're fully focused on that thing.
Yeah.
But in terms of the quality of mazes last year was by far the best. I liked Subspecies. Don't get me wrong, but it was just darkness, it was cool. But the difference with these mazes, all the mazes last year, was the attention to detail in the theming and the kind of the lighting of the mazes to kind of make you look one way and then something happens the other way. They just get better each year. And I just don't agree with people saying that it's the same. Oh, it's the same old, same old. Toxic Junkyard's a year old not even a year old. When it's like Scarefest, it will be a year old. The attic is coming up to 2 years, so it's like, and so is Darkest Depths. They're very new mazes still. They're never going to get rid of them mazes like this early on. They're just not. They've built them all. They're beautifully like designed.
Darkest Depths has been sat there all year as well. Actually, they shut that one up and basically boarded it up. So it's still there.
And so that's my opinion of the why get rid of them mazes so early on. So Altonville, that's been there for a while. Personally, that's my favourite. I know that not everyone agrees, and maybe it probably will be the first one to go because it's been there so long. But just being out, like entering through that tunnel and then go, like the way where it's set feels like you're going into a mine. Like to me, it's like it's so like immersive. And this year they'll probably have the head torches back. You know, fingers crossed. I think that improves it.
It does
when it's like flickering and stuff. Like, so let's not forget that. But yeah, I
was literally just about to say about.
Let me just finish.
Go ahead and finish. Go ahead and finish what you said. I've got something I want to add.
But go what on. You have to remember is like what Freedom Day happened like not that long ago. For somewhere like Alton Towers to create a scare maze, like they need to start doing that like last year. So the planet, like start getting everything, all the designs drawn up. We didn't know if that Freedom Day was going to happen.
No.
Also, from this point into October, then restrictions could come back into play. So if they design a maze and that overtakes Mine Tours, for example, that takes Mine Tours place, and that they design a maze, and then suddenly restrictions change, and they go, because of that, because the way we've designed it, we can't like do that one anymore.
That's one less maze they're down already.
That's one less maze they're down. People are going to be way more upset about that than like anything else. So I think they are playing it safe, but it's a good lineup, man.
Bloody grandpa in Mine Tours, yeah, that guy.
Mate,
I'm so excited for Mine Tours, man. It sounds
mentally scarred.
It's so good.
Mentally scarred.
And going back to what you said, Luke, like lots of people did not go to Scarefest last year.
Loads of people didn't leave the house last year, Sean.
Yeah. People did not feel comfortable going to Scarefest. No, so you kind of have to write off last year in a way. Yeah. Even though for me it was the best one they've done since the Sanctuary left. But because just the quality of all the mazes was just so good. Like and Toxic Junkyard is good when it's good. You know what I mean? You have to have a good it has to be at night. It has to be at night.
Yes, it does.
It has 100% has to be at night, and not too busy, because obviously if you get batched, you're not going to get the right run through. But I did like 5 run throughs of it, and I loved that maze. Like, so yeah. But I agree with everyone that's saying scare zones, they need to come back. That's the only advantage Thorpe has. Well, Fright Nights has over Scarefest, is that their scare zones are so good. They're like the opposite. Their scare zones are so good. The mazes are like really lackluster.
Proper shit hot.
Yeah, the scare zones, like, but I feel like if you look at what they've done with Mardi Gras, where they've made it park wide, and I think there's there's talks about them doing that for Oktoberfest. Maybe they might do that for Fright Nights, and I don't know. I don't know this. I don't get told anything. I just get the information whenever. But yeah.
That's what Joe's just said. I wish they would keep it going. I was just going to ask, right, what's going to be the program with batching groups?
I think it will go back to normal, because it will be capacity again. So last year it was like, they had the capacity.
That is a little bit of a shame, because I'm not joking. Yeah. I was looking forward to going for with free review with Joe, with Kyle, Lauren, with everyone, and going through it. Just as
that was literally just a byproduct of social distancing, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, I know.
It wouldn't have.
So Sean, about
realistic to.
Can we book a VIP tour?
It wouldn't have been realistic.
I'll ask Merlin himself. I'll ring him up.
What are you saying, Mikhail? Sorry, mate.
I'm just saying it because that was literally just a byproduct of running a scare maze with social distancing during a pandemic. It was probably probably best to be assumed that it was just going to go back to the way it was after social distancing, guidance or whatever had been dropped and stuff. But I mean, I didn't do a scare event last year, so I'm speaking from the perspective of someone who didn't get to experience that last year.
Same.
But
I didn't either. Yeah.
Right.
So
it was the best. It was the best because that was like always my dream. Like having these scare mazes was just like
fucking hell, Mark.
Yeah. My highlight of the scare season is watching Mark.
Is watching Mark in PBE videos saying,
yeah.
Come at the front.
Yeah.
Are we all doing passage, by the way? When we do the PBE event.
Yeah, man, I'll go on that.
Sweet. Good stuff.
Oh, that's all right then, because I won't
I've
be
always
there.
got time. But no, I think it'd be nice if they did that still. But I just think personally, like for queues and getting over the top, they'll put people in groups. And I've always thought towers have been pretty good with batching people. They don't put you in a massive group. If you go to some of these ones I've been to in Europe, and the ones I've not been to them, but I've seen the ones in America, where it's like a massive conga line. Like that's the norm in a lot of places. So at least they're still putting you in like groups, like small groups. So it's one of them. But it's going to be a weird one to get used to. But, I'm excited to see what Thorpe announced now. I'm sure if they do another rehash of like Blair Witch and Roots, like people will lose their mind and go, "Oh my god, it's a new maze," and it's not a new maze; it's the same maze. Maybe that's what Tower should have done: is just like renamed the maze and kept it the same and be like, "Oh my god, it's a new maze," because it's what a lot of places do.
What would be hilarious is if they just opened Subterra randomly, just Scarefest. Imagine.
I wish. The one thing that has come up is I do wish that Project 42 come back, but
or something in that area. Yeah,
that would have been cool.
Something in that space.
I thought that was a good maze personally. I know not a lot of people agreed, but I liked that maze. If you got a good run through that, it was pretty intense. But I mean, I personally thought this year we might have like the Sanctuary back, but it's just maybe 1 year they're going to bring. It's such an in-demand one that everyone wants to come back. One of my favorite mazes I've ever done. Like still to this day, it sticks in the head. Like the Sanctuary was like top tier maze, and maybe in a couple of years, maybe like 2023, it might come back for like anniversary.
I mean, it's funny because we were kind of having this. Me and Aaron and co were having this discussion on Sunday. When we went to Towers, about obviously sort of what the Sanctuary was versus what the Smiler is, and obviously the fact that there is such a big difference between the quality of the Sanctuary, obviously from what I've heard, because I've never experienced it, and then kind of what you got with the quality of the Smiler. I mean, as a ride, the Smiler is incredible. Yeah. It's fantastic. But in terms of the theme, it's very bland, it's very lacking. So yeah, I would love to see that maze return, and then at least I can kind of draw my own conclusions.
You think the Smiler's bland theming?
I was going to say, I was like, what ride are you talking about?
Compared to the Sanctuary's vibe, you mean?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah,
right. Oh, okay. All right.
I'd say the Sanctuary. The Sanctuary.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah,
that's what I meant. No,
yeah. Cries in Marmalize.
I think the Sanctuary was brilliant because it was so like when you see the concept art for the original stuff that was going to do on the Smiler, that's what the Sanctuary felt like. It felt like that. It felt like that's what it was going to, and the way they did it, where it's like you went into these like kind of the first room you went into, I remember it just being kind of like this living quarters of where all these like crazy people were, and they were just like losing their minds. And then you went down into the cellar, into the Marmalizer that like just flashed you, and then you went out, and then it was just like all the bad side of this kind of like that's, I don't know what you'd even call it, like a madhouse sounds bad. It's not the PC term to call it. What's it called? Like an asylum. An asylum. That's the right word I was thinking.
Sanctuary.
Yeah, Asylum. But yeah, so that just had it was such a good length as well, that maze was. It just had everything in it for me. And the fact that the queue was, obviously now the attic, it uses that queue line. But when they played that music in the conservatory bit, going up to it, and had this like medical smell that was pumping through, it was like perfect. And these old TVs like playing like Dr. Kalman on it and like introducing you into it. It's just like, it was incredible. And I want it to come back, but maybe one year.
Yeah, maybe. I think it will. I think because towers seem to be, towers seem to be on the fan side of things, on the enthusiast side of things these days. They're listening. They're listening to people. They're not just going, oh, well, that idea is shit. They're going, oh, actually, maybe this would work. And you saw that with the, it's going to sound stupid, but the release of the uniforms that they did, they sold out instantly. Like, like just little things like that. And the amount of merch they sold, the amount of merch they're making now as well. Like Towers Trading is stacked right now, proper stacked with everything. There's something for everyone. And that's what I like about it. And I think that Towers really are listening. And I think Merlin in general are listening better, but Towers definitely 100% are listening more to the fans on social media. Definitely got the hand on the pulse and the finger on the pulse, and the thinking like, what can we do that's going to draw more crowds? Like, what do our crowds want? It's okay, creating a new maze that might be trash to us, but to normal people who don't really give a shit, who just turn up just to be scared, they would be like, okay, they've enjoyed it, but then like people like us wouldn't necessarily give it a good name. And I feel like if they brought the Sanctuary back, it would smash records, I reckon, for Scarefest.
Oh, mate, honestly, people would go crazy over it.
Yeah, they would.
I almost think like the Smiler fandom, like it's such its own thing as well, isn't it? Like you got like
a cool following, hasn't it?
Yeah,
like
it's a massive following. But like it's even like people like my niece, like she's not, I wouldn't say she's an enthusiast, but every time we go to Towers, she loves the Smiler. She like buys something from the Smiler, and she's not even enthusiast. She just loves it. Like, so it's got that cult following even outside of theme park enthusiasts or roller coaster enthusiasts. So it would bring it back.